Greg Jennings, are you buying this?
I am. I'm buying it with everything that I have in my bank account because when I look at coaches, when I look at players, they want three things. They have these three things in common. They both want to win. They both want to be either a great player or a good player or have a good player and make them a great player. And they both want to be the reason why they win. And when you look at Mike McCarthy and you look at Dak Prescott, what is going to bring them together is all this negative talk about Dak Prescott and what he hasn't done and his contract potentially being franchise tagged and not getting the contract and not having earned it yet. And then you look at Mike McCarthy being outed in Green Bay because of his play calling inability, if you will, and lack thereof. They both have something to prove. I don't need to prove it with Tom Brady. I don't need to prove it with anybody else. I got a guy right here in-house, if we can keep him when we do sign him, that wants the same thing that I want, that's going to burn with the same fire that I got in me. And so we're going to do this together. He's been labeled as a quarterback guru. He gets to work with a young guy, develop him even more, take his game to another level, put pieces around him, and then they ride off into the sunset, hopefully win a Super Bowl. That will be everything that Mike McCarthy has signed up for, and even more for what Dak Prescott wants to do and has signed up for. So, yes, I'm buying this with everything I got.
Yeah, I am too. And this leak, and Rob knows this as a reporter, this leak could end whatever realness there is to the Tom Brady stuff, because whoever told, whether it was McCarthy himself or somebody close to him, whoever told James Slater this knew it was going to be out there, and it's kind of a message to Tom Brady. Mike McCarthy doesn't want you. Mike McCarthy is happy with Dak Prescott. So that's something we have to keep in mind. But it makes all the sense in the world. Mike McCarthy signed up for the long haul. He didn't sign up just for the next year or two, and I talked about it yesterday. I like Tom Brady. I love Tom Brady. But I don't know when he's going to fall off. He might fall off in game 2 next year. Game 1, game 10. At some point at 43 years old, he's not going to be even close to the same quarterback that he's been. Whereas Dak Prescott, I know he's not Aaron Rodgers or Pat Mahomes or anything like that, but he is a guy that Mike McCarthy can look at and say, this could be my quarterback for the next 10 years.
Absolutely.
He's my guy. And so I definitely think McCarthy looks at him and saw improvement last year. You can poo-poo the numbers all you want because they didn't win. But the bottom line is he was 4th in the league in QBR. He was 4th in the league in touchdowns.
Numbers.
He was 2nd in the league in yards per game. He was 5th in the league in yards per attempt.
And he was home during the playoffs because none of it mattered.
Do you use that against Carson Wentz when he's home for the playoffs?
Carson Wentz beat
Has he won any playoff
Dak
games?
Prescott in the biggest game of the year to win the division.
Has he won
Do you
any
remember
playoff
that game?
Biggest game of the year?
Yes, that was the biggest game of the year.
He won the Super Bowl, Greg.
He was throwing the quarterback. Yes.
How many playoff games has your boy Carson Wentz won?
Carson Wentz won a Super Bowl.
How many?
He won a Super Bowl.
Really? He watched the Super Bowl just like you and me.
He has a ring.
He has a participation.
He had a Super Bowl ring.
Stop.
My point is, and what is he going to say? McCarthy's not going to fawn over Tom Brady, who's not under contract. You can't go out and go, oh, the idea of working with Tom Brady would be great because you don't have access to him. So and it would be dumb to do.
You're buying this?
Yes, I am buying it.
Or you're not buying it? I'm sorry.
No,
you're buying what?
Who would McCarthy have, Dak or Brady?
If he could get Tom Brady with the team that they have and the talent that they have, Dak Prescott, for all those phony numbers you want to throw, Chris.
QBR's never phony.
Dak Prescott
QBR's not phony,
is
Rob.
a $3 bill when you talk about quarterbacks. That's what he is. And I don't want change from it. Because when you...
What is happening? Come on, Rob.
Talk about... Last...
You can't even get a straight face because you know this is shit. You don't believe it.
Last year, noticed. Chris, you picked them to go to the Super Bowl because you felt like they had all the talent. And Dak was the reason they didn't go to the Super Bowl.
Oh, stop it. No, you're wrong. I will not stand for that. I will not stand for that.
Dak was 2-7 against teams 500 or better. Greg,
Rob,
he beat up the bad teams. He put up all these numbers.
When he
didn't make the Pro Bowl. They didn't make the
Pro
playoffs.
Bowl. Oh, geez, that's everything.
I'm just telling you, when you look at what he did when it mattered, he didn't have a great year. And that's why if you could upgrade or put a guy in the right situation, we saw Peyton Manning win a Super Bowl going somewhere else. You put Tom Brady with a running back and with these players that the Cowboys have, they had Super Bowl caliber talent last year, and you're telling me that if you insert Tom Brady, you don't have a chance to win?
No.
Absolutely you have a chance.
So, Rob,
But you have a chance with Dak as
No,
well.
I don't believe you do,
Rob,
because
so
I've seen Dak in the big moments.
Here's
and they're not
the
see when
Jerry
he beat
Jones
Russell
logic,
Wilson?
okay? Jerry
You see
Jones
that?
knows we had the third best point differential in the NFC. This is an 11-win team if Jason Garrett doesn't screw up every other week. So there's a great Kobe Bryant quote that he gave out several years ago. Don't tell me how rough the water is. Just bring the boat in. That's what Jerry Jones is telling McCarthy. We're a playoff team. Get us there. We're keeping Dak. We're keeping Amari. We got the offensive line. This is a playoff team. Just get us there. You think Mike McCarthy, who just fought in Green Bay with Greg's guy, Aaron Rodgers, butted heads, two strong personalities, you think Tom Brady's going to come in and listen to Mike McCarthy? I got 6 rings, McCarthy. How many you got? 1.
Yeah,
Get out of here. Come
But
on.
the difference
whatsoever.
is you got Jerry Jones, who's older, who wants desperately to win another championship. I don't know if Dak is going to be able to do it. Is it going to take Dak 6 more years to finally reach the mountaintop? I don't know. And will my team be together, this group that I have right here, right now? There's no 5-year plans in the NFL anymore. It's about 2 or 3 years and whether or not we can win. If I can insert a quarterback of that caliber who won 12 games despite his numbers going down. I give you Tom Brady's not the same guy, but somehow, some way they won 12 games. They won more games than the Cowboys with an old, broken down Tom Brady. If you could add him to the mix with the talent that the Cowboys have, they have a shot to win.
Rob, you're so off on this. Chris, thank you. One of the things that you said, Mike McCarthy is there for the long haul. When you look at a quarterback and a coach relationships, specifically a play caller, which Mike McCarthy is, and I get it. He has Kellen Moore, but he's gonna oversee all of that. You have to establish a relationship with your quarterback, and you want to establish a really good relationship, and it tends to be a long, extensive relationship when you have a guy that you know that you can grow with. That's what makes and creates sustained success. And when I recall everything that Mike McCarthy is all about, he talks about stacking success. He's not trying to win 1 Lombardi trophy in Dallas. He's trying to win 2 and 3. You're not going to get that with just inserting Tom Brady and saying, oh, you know what, let's start over again the moment he's gone.
What does the owner want? Does the owner want to win a championship?
Yes, which is why he brought Mike McCarthy in.
He wants to win a championship. He wants to justify his existence that since he ran Jimmy Johnson out of town, that he hasn't won jack in 25 years.
At some point, you have to identify what you have. And what you have now is Mike McCarthy at the head coaching position, and you realize you have a young Dak Prescott, 26 years old, versus whatever else is out there. You can talk about and poo-poo all the stats you want to, but there was 4 other quarterbacks who led the league in passing that didn't make the playoffs and didn't make the postseason. Dak Prescott being one of them. That doesn't make any of those 5 quarterbacks terrible quarterbacks. They all probably have things that they can work on.
It just tells you that those numbers don't matter. That's what it tells you.
Tom Brady had bad
doesn't mean that they're automatically going to win because you put those numbers up.
You cannot have it both ways. When Dak Prescott, who even still is the second winningest quarterback in the NFL since he's joined the NFL, okay? You can't have it both ways, though. When he was leading them to a 13-3 record, when he was leading them to the playoffs 2 of his first 3 years, and his numbers were kind of pedestrian. You ripped him because the numbers weren't there.
The narrative,
now you want to talk about wins.
Football.
I want consistency from you. Seriously.
He can't throw the football. He's not accurate. He doesn't throw the ball down the field. He's only hanging in because of Ezekiel Elliott and the offensive line. All these things were said about Dak Prescott, and now he's throwing the football. He's starting to take ownership and carry the load of that offense, and now you're saying they lost because he did that.
And Greg, were they not supposed to be in the playoff mix this year?
They
or maybe have a chance?
It's not Dak.
They were
I'm
the
asking
mix.
you, Greg. You're going to tell me last year convince you that Dak Prescott is as good as going to lead them to the Super Bowl?
I'm going to tell you what last year convinced me.
That's what you convinced?
The year before, where were they? The year before, where were they?
They went to the playoffs.
Okay, they were in the playoffs. So if you go to the playoffs the year before and then all of a sudden you fall off, but we have the same nucleus of team, Something
Jason Garrett.
has to look funny, and it looks like it was the coaching.
Right.
So I remove that piece, keep what I have in place in play, and insert another coach that I feel can bring out the best in everyone. And let's see what happens this year.
Dak Prescott is Kirk Cousins all over again. He'll get 2 franchise tags and then be on another team.
What I'll give you is this, Rob.
And he had the same playoff record as Kirk Cousins, 1-2.
As much as I'm against bringing in Brady over Dak, for our purposes, it would be incredible. That would be the greatest, not just this network. As a sports commentator and analyst, it would be the storyline of the decade if Tom Brady.
By the way, Jerry and Tom Brady would
decade.
implode within 6 weeks.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.